So, and I come from, my father's a doctor, my brother was headed for medical school, and I was really doing well in biology. So I was like, yes, then I'm going to, be a doctor. So that was my plan, and absolutely no acting. In high school, college, not one play, nothing. But I graduated and decided, all right, I've, no responsibilities. Now's the time, so I won't regret it later. And felt like I was 22 and way behind everybody else. When I started at the Groundlings, that was the first thing I was allowed to do. But it was really useful, I have to say. I thought it was great. And in fact, the person who sent me there was John Lovitz, who had been a cast member on Saturday Night Live and my brother's best friend. So when I told him, so I'm not going to go to medical school, I'm not doing biology, I'm going to become an actor, he went, great, okay, because he had studied it forever. And he said, the one place I learned the most that was helpful was the Groundlings. Just go straight there. Well, Groundlings luckily gave me some structure because I still really needed some structure. And it also gave me some hope because at least I was doing well at something in the field. and I needed that encouragement. I really did. And I was meeting really talented people. A lot of them became writers in television. And writers in television become writer-producers and run their own shows and have a lot to say about the casting and everything else. And so that's where a lot of opportunities came. My very first audition ever was through the Groundlings. One of the Groundling teachers recommended me to another Groundling who was also teaching. She had written a play, and she was holding auditions for a backer's audition for the play. Not to be in the play, but to be in the backer's audition. So they could get funding and actually stage the play. And that was my very first audition, and I got it. I actually auditioned again when they were going to do it, and I got to keep the part. And the play did really well, and casting people came. So I actually that's where I got my Cheers guest star and a part in a movie. Okay, when I was a kid, yes, I wanted to be an actress. But when I took biology in high school, I was hooked. The biological theories I learned to me were the height of creativity. So I pursued my passion for biology, and wherever that would lead me. I had nothing to do with acting while in high school, nor while at Vassar. I was never in a play. I don't think really saw a play. I wasn't interested in the least, not the least. Then during my senior year, I was at Vassar. Oh no, but I was home for spring break. I was driving around LA, and I heard a promo for a sitcom on the radio. They'd play their best joke from the show, and I remember hearing in my head, oh God, that's not funny. Oh, they punched that joke too hard. Just throw it away. Lisa, remember to throw it away when you do it. Why do I need to remember to throw a joke away? I don't need to remember that. So I dismissed it until after I graduated and was happily doing research with my father at the headache clinic. And it happened again and again and again. I'd be watching a sitcom and I'd hear myself saying, oh God, no, don't do that. Don't do that comedy walk thing like those sitcom actresses do. Yeah, it really got relentless. So I entertained the idea of being an actress, then moved to justify the idea with, you're 22, you have no mortgage, no husband and kids, no responsibilities. You have to do this acting thing now, right now. I'm so sorry, but you have to. By November of 1985, I declared that I would pursue acting. My parents and family were thrilled for me. Truly. And that was the first and most important, wonderful show of support I got. Parents were thrilled, parents. They were supportive and thrilled. My Vassar friends were shocked. I got fired from Frasier. The one everyone knew was going to be a hit, and it was.
The next day, my biggest source of support had to move to New York to start work on his show Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and so my best friend was gone too. This time, it was really hard not to think that it wasn't meant to be my career as an actress. It was so embarrassing. Jim Burrows and those producers had to fire me. They were nice, but, well, it's just not working and we need to replace you. Okay, sure, no, don't feel bad. But didn't they know how hard I worked to finally become good at auditioning? That I had gotten over the being an actress issue and embraced it? That was hard for me. This was my shot. I cried a lot. Then I got a call from a friend, the actor Richard Kind, who I'd met when I had guest starred on an episode of Mad About You starring Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, who said, and this is exactly how he sounds, "I heard what happened. I don't know how you get up in the morning. How do you even get out of bed, get dressed, walk out the door, and show your face?" That just made me laugh. That was crazy. I was getting up in the morning and leaving my apartment, so maybe I was coping better than I was expected to. That's a good sign. I know it's hard to believe, but when one door closes, another door always opens. It really does. I never forgot it. A couple of months later, I was almost completely out of money. And my agent called to tell me that Danny Jacobson, the producer of Mad About You, was offering me another small role on the show. The agent was recommending I pass on it because it was too small a role and the character didn't even have a name. It was for the part of waitress, and I wouldn't even see the part till I got to the set in an hour. Get there in an hour. Don't take it. They can't treat you like this. I didn't even think twice. Of course, I took it. Whatever it is, I'll make it funny. I'll listen and respond and make it funny. By the second day, Danny Jacobson asked if I would be okay with being written into at least 5 more shows throughout the season. I told him I was okay with that. Some people thought I was funny as the waitress, ultimately named Ursula, on Mad About You. One of them was one of their talented writers named Jeffrey Cleric. Jeffrey's boyfriend was named David Crane, who recommended I come in to read for his new show about 6 20-somethings who lived in New York and hung out at a coffee house. After many auditions, I was the second person cast in the pilot called Friends Like Us, which would later be changed to Friends. It was a good thing I didn't get Saturday Night Live, and that Romy and Michelle, that pilot didn't work out, and every other disappointment that happened. They were actually more like guideposts that kept me on my path.